Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
Welcome to Channelside Bets with your hosts, Nikki Gist, Chip Settle, and L. Bushman.
And welcome, everybody, to another live edition of Channelside Bets, presented to you by Channelside Sports Network. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in for Week 13. Make sure to cash those checks and place those bets. It is now Channelside Bets. Chip is out this week to have some birthday shenanigans. I saw a couple of his Facebook reels. He looks like he's just in his own little world right now. So me and Nikki are going to hold it down today for this Sunday. Nikki, how's it going today? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. Good for Chip.
Yeah, good for Chip. He's living it up, man. He's got a lady friend there with him. He's doing his thing.
Oh, all right. Yeah. As you should live it up on your birthday.
Yeah, he was doing all kinds of Facebook check-ins. He was going to Buc-ee's in Georgia. Then he's headed to Tennessee. He's doing all kinds of things.
All right. Good for him.
So welcome in, everybody, to Channelside Bets. Make sure to go to BetUS.com to place your first sign-in bet. If you haven't already, you get that 125% sign-in bonus if you put in the promo code Channelside to get your sign-up bonus today. BetUS, one of the best betting websites around. Make sure to bet accordingly. But let's get into it. Week 13 is upon us. The Bills and Pats played on Thursday Night Football, which I thought the Patriots would make it a game, but after the first score, it was just all Bills after that. Nikki, what were your thoughts on the Bills and Patriots game? Do the Pats have any chance to make the playoffs, or should they just call it a day?
I mean, not with this type of play calling. This is very like Jason Garrett-esque type of play calling. Like, I don't know what we're doing. I mean, Mac Jones had a rough night, completed 22 of 36. It was like one TD. So not great. Patriots offensive line, not a great night for them. This is a Buffalo, man. You watch games like this, like they have a few rough games in there, but then you watch them and you're like, God, what are they bad at? What can't they do? They're such a high-powered offense. I'm not loving what the Patriots are doing. I mean, I'll give the Patriots defense credit, of course, but this offense,
stinky.
Not great.
Very stinky. And the thing is, to me, there's like lots of emotions on that Patriots sideline with Matt Patricia yelling at people, Mac Jones yelling at people. Patriots were 3 for 12 on third downs and then 0 for 1 in the red zone on Thursday night. It just seems like it was a little too questionable for me when you brought back Matt Patricia, but you make him the OC instead of like putting him back as the DC, which he once was before he left to go to Detroit. So I don't know if Matt knows how to call plays, or maybe Bill should just take over the rest of the season, because I think there's a slim chance they could make the playoffs, because now the AFC East is like a stacked division where all four teams are playoff contenders. I mean, even the Jets, I can't believe I'm saying this, the Jets are playoff contenders right now, which they could be going to the playoffs. So if I'm the Patriots, if I'm Bill Belichick, we've got to right the ship before the playoffs happen, because they look really bad right now on offense. It's super bad.
Yeah, listen, they could make the playoffs, but I don't know how far you're going to get with an offense like that.
Right.
I mean, Buffalo was super efficient on Thursday. Their time in possession was like 37 minutes or something. So, you could make it, but I don't know what you think you're doing. And Matt Patricia, play calling was down to Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Like, at that point, just take over, Belichick. Just call the plays yourself.
You're familiar with Joe Judge, aren't you? I mean, just a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, it just seemed like that after the Patriots scored and then the Bills had their first possession and then just marched down the field, it was just all over from there. And it was just like, all right, well, the Bills are just pretty much going to win this game after that. So, any chance that the Patriots make a move next? I mean, obviously, they've got a lot of cap space for next year. They could bring in a whole bunch of free agents and everything. Do you think maybe Mac Jones' job is in jeopardy at the quarterback position? Do you think they might maybe go out and get somebody else? There are rumors that Tom Brady might go back to New England for his final year. That's a new rumor that's going around where he could go, hey, I'm coming back to New England just to close it out with Bill and company. But do you think, they could make a move and maybe switch to somebody else with the quarterback position, or it kind of falls with Matt Patricia and play calling first?
I think it's probably that too. I think there's a combination of things going on. However, I don't put it past the Patriots organization to say, "Hey, we're moving on,"
Yeah.
especially if Tom wants to come back. I mean, how do you feel about that?
At this point, I mean, if you want to go back for your final year, I mean, that's cool with me. I mean, we got a Super Bowl out of you. I guess we all, listen, to me, if you're going to go back for your final year, why would you leave in the first place?
Right.
To me, you know what I mean? Because it just seems like, hey, I'm going to come back, just have a final tour in my final year with the team I started with, and then just push people to the side because I'm Tom Brady. I can do what I want.
Pretty much.
So I don't know. To me, it's just a rumor that the guys up in Beantown in the Northeast just like to come up with for clicks and likes on The Athletic, because that's the report that came out. So I don't know. Maybe it is true. I mean, the reports for him going down to Miami and coaching and having a stake in the team. So we never know.
The Athletic.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Exactly. Clickbait.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go into NFL news for this week. What do we got? What do we got, Nikki?
All right. So NFLPA experts have described Deshaun Watson progress during his mandatory treatment as he is making signs of progress. So that's his status, even though his 11-game suspension is over. He is expected to stay in the treatment because he feels it is working, and he will continue treatment on an ongoing as-needed basis, although he did decline to actually say what this treatment is when he spoke to the media earlier this week. So
I have a question.
Yes.
What is progress being made? Like what?
Signs that progress is being signs of progress. I'm sorry, that was the quote. Yes.
What is signs of progress?
What is the treatment?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I mean, okay, he's in treatment for obviously being a horn dog.
Yeah.
So what are signs of progress? Like they put pictures up and say, okay, how do you feel right now? Like Rorschach test. Like, what do you see in this picture? I would
Are you turned on? Yes.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I would love
like,
to know. What these signs of progress. That's interesting. It is an interesting day. He is coming back from his 11-game suspension. I was watching some NFL news from NFL, Network, and also ESPN. A lot of the female commentators really fired up about him coming back, about what transpired and everything. So it's going to be an interesting day down in Houston. He's probably going to get a lot of boos. Apparently 10 of the 26 accusers are going to be at the game today. So it's going to be an interesting day in Houston for Deshaun Watson's homecoming against his former team, playing now for the Cleveland Browns. What are your thoughts on what do you think his headspace is at right now, where he's going back to the place where it all started? Now you have 10 of the 26 that are in the house, probably just staring at you the whole time.
Yeah.
Like how much of a distraction that could be for him? Do you think he's in the right headspace right now to perform at a optimal level? Like, hey, I'm coming back. He hasn't been in an NFL. He hasn't played an NFL snap in 700 days. So
2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
So, yeah, he did say, they asked him like, okay, are you anticipating being booed? And of course he gave the standard, no, I'm here to win a game. Of course they can't answer. If that's me, I think that's in the back of my mind, right? That's a major distraction. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how he plays, right? Because if 10 of your accusers are just sitting there, I don't know. I don't know how that doesn't distract you.
Yeah, to me, it would just be like the hugest distraction in the world. It's like, hey, 10 of these women that, accused me of doing this, and they all sued me and all this stuff that went on, off the field. Now they're here staring me down every single play. To me, I would be a little bit, I would have like periffs. Like I'd be kind of looking in the back of my head and everything. So I did start him today in my dynasty league just to see for shits and giggles. We'll see. Maybe I'll ride him the rest of the way if he does all right. He is going against his former team, so lots of lots and lots of storylines for that one. So what else you got for NFL
A
news?
ton of storylines. Media frenzy over there. It's probably the most attention Houston's going to get in, I don't even know.
Oh yeah, very long time.
Yes. A couple other things. So the NFL has flexed out the December 11th Sunday night game. They've saved us all, everyone. We should be very grateful. It was Broncos and Chiefs, but now we are getting Chargers and Dolphins. So thank you very much. All right. That's a lot better than watching Mahomes just completely destroy the Broncos. And Matt Stafford placed on injured reserve. The Rams announced that, effectively ending his season. However, he could be eligible in week 17. I don't understand what that point would be. They are 3-8. And don't forget, they still owe the Lions their 2023 first round pick. So this looks like a huge win for the Lions. And then, of course, we heard Kyle Pitts, unfortunately, had his knee surgery. So he is done for the season, which wasn't really doing much anyways. Unfortunate there. So that's the major stuff for NFL news. Everything else is injury related.
We talked about Matthew Stafford last week about what they should do with him. I think this is the right move for the Rams. I mean, to consider him maybe coming back week 17, that's just don't even do it. Like, he's done. He's done for the year. Yeah. Let him get his surgery. Let him start healing. You don't need to bring him back in and make him being injured even more. And honestly, I think maybe the Rams should be in the market for either getting a quarterback on the open market or go maybe drafting one, because you go from Super Bowl to now you're not even going to make the playoffs this year. So
3-8.
That's terrible, man.
I mean, people had said, "Oh, Super Bowl hangover is coming." I didn't think it would be this bad.
It is bad. Aaron Donald's out too this week.
Yeah, it's just not great. But hey, it's looking good for Detroit. They're
just winning, man.
Yeah, they are.
It's the Dan Campbell mojo. They're all just winning everywhere. That's right, man. So speaking of injuries, the injury report is kind of updating as we trickle in. Like I said, like you said, of course, Nikki, Matthew Stafford is out today. Aaron Donald is out today too. Deebo Samuel will be out today against the Dolphins, and Trent Williams is also Deebo is out. Trent Williams is questionable. Good for Brandon Ayuk, people that have him on fantasy and daily fantasy. So if you've got Brandon Ayuk, plug him in. He's probably going to get a lot of touches today.
Yeah,
I do too as well. Yep. I've been riding that train for the last how many weeks? Because Brandon Ayuk has just been a stud. Yep. Jamar Chase is back. He is back to play today. Joe Mixon is still in concussion protocol, but there was a news report that came out this morning. He will play. So if you have Joe Mixon, fire him up. But still kind of keep some RG Perrine in your back pocket just in case he is ruled out for later this afternoon's matchup. Mike Williams, Corey Lindsey, and Troy Pipkins all three are out against the Raiders today. So you've got Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer might be a good option to plug in for Mike Williams just in case. I'm not even going to announce any kind of Broncos news because really nobody cares about the Broncos. They're just a dumpster fire. But Judy and Cortland Sutton are both questionable today against the Ravens. Travis Etienne, Darrell Henderson, and Zay Jones are all questionable for the Jaguars. And then Brandon Cooks is going to be out today against the Houston Texans, later today against the Deshaun Watson-led Browns. So I've got those today. I wanted to ask you, so Aaron Rodgers said he'd be open for, Jordan Love to start the rest of the season. He'd be open to it. Now, the Packers aren't officially eliminated, but they are kind of mathematically maybe done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Rodgers is being sincere about this, about, hey, I wouldn't care, or is he just saying that just to make nice for everybody?
Who knows? I'm sick of this guy. Like, I just personally, I'm sick of him. Like, every year it's something with him. It's some dramatics. It's like, I'm not happy. Now, listen, I get it. They need to give him help. I understand that. They seem to have just kind of ignored the wide receiver position. I understand the frustration. My issue with him is the constant whining and the complaining, and you want to be traded, and then just go already. I can't stand him. I think he's just full of drama. You can't tell me his self-serving attitude does not affect the locker room, because I guarantee you it does. And I understand he's a star. I'm not taking anything away from him. He is one of the best at what he does. But for him to think that he should have all this say and what the front office does every year, I just think It's a little out of touch for me. So if he wants to hand it off to Jordan, actually, I prefer it. Like, I'm sure they want to see what they've got in this kid. So I don't know. Go host Jeopardy or something. Just go.
Nikki, I disagree a little bit with that. So when you say he shouldn't have a seat at the table, I think he should by now, because listen, remember, the Packers are run by a board. They're not run by a specific like family or person. And I think for all he's done for that, for that organization, I think he should have at least a little bit of say, like who they should draft.
Yes, a little bit of say.
Yeah, I think at this point, and I think that was a lot of his disgruntledness, the past couple seasons before he took the ayahuasca and got free with his mind was, I would love to have a little bit of say of who we're bringing in for free agents, who we're going to be drafting, because I remember when they drafted Jordan Love, he was like pissed because nobody told him about it. So I think at that moment, it really caused a rift of like, okay, well, if you're not going to consult me about this, why should I even care going forward? So I can see where his head's at, where, you'd be frustrated when they're not bringing the level of talent they should have around him, because, right now he's throwing to guys that are just tier B and C, maybe even D wide receivers right now. I mean, your top guy is Christian Watson.
Yeah. And I get it. I'm sure he's frustrated. I get it. It's just he's always in a good year he complains.
Yeah, well, that's just Aaron Rodgers.
I know, but it's annoying.
That's just who he is. I would say if they lose this week, I would say, okay, hand over the keys to Jordan, and then that way you can evaluate him for next season. Obviously, he did sign an extension with them, so he's going to be there next year. But I would say hand it over to him, and then we'll go.
Why sign it if you're so disgruntled? I don't get.
I really thought he was going to be gone.
I did too.
I think a lot of people thought he was going to be gone too.
Come back from like all of this back and forth, and both sides are very frustrated with each other, and like I thought he would leave.
I mean, you never know. They could trade him. Of course, they would have to eat his contract too, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we're going to play a game called Pretenders or Contenders. Okay. I'm going to spew off a few playoff contender teams, and we'll go through them to see if they're pretenders or contenders. Okay. First, we'll start with the AFC, and I'm going to start with the number 4 seed currently right now is the Tennessee Titans. Contenders or pretenders?
Pretenders for me.
Okay.
Pretenders. Like, remember, I mean, how they ended up with the 1 seed last year. Listen, they always have a great defense, and I think Mike Vrabel is a fantastic coach. My issue is their offense is not great, and if you shut down Derrick Henry, what else you got going on? Nothing.
I couldn't agree with you more, because they're in a weak division. Let's just put it out there. They're in one of the weakest divisions. So they are going to make the playoffs. But going forward, if they had any type of title run, I mean, look, they almost made it to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, but I think this year, this is just a totally different team. You lost, you traded AJ Brown, your top target, to Philadelphia, which they're reaping the benefits now from him. But I will agree with you. They are contenders. Okay. Wild card seed number 1, currently the Miami Dolphins. Contender or pretender?
Oh, contender for sure. And I was down on Tua, but I stand corrected on that one.
Okay. I'm going to go with contender as well. I really like what Mike McDaniel's done with this whole team. They've got their mojo back. Miami looks so much good. The Dolphins are 8-0 when Tua starts, by the way.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's a good stat. All right. Wild card 2, which I don't think anybody knew we would be saying this at this point in time in the season. The New York Jets. Contender or pretender?
I have to go pretender, but it's not because I don't think they have young talent. I think they do. I think they've hit it out of the park in free agency. It's really the quarterback position for me.
With right now, it's Mike White. Mike White I think they should just stick with him the rest of the way and let Zach Wilson just pout on the bench right now. What Mike White did last week, we did see a little bit last year before he got hurt. I mean, the dude comes out and just throws dimes. And I said this last week on the show, where everybody on that team is going to be better because of Mike White. And Mike White, Garrett Wilson, they all looked fantastic last week. So I'm actually going to say contender for the New York Jets.
Okay.
I'm going to say contender.
All right. Maybe one more week. Let me just see it one more week. But I am starting him in fantasy. So
okay. I have him on DFS. So I'm starting Mike White, one of my DFSs. Okay. I will go with the Cincinnati Bengals next. Contender or pretender?
Oh, contender for sure. I love me some Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I just think that team has so much firepower, so they're definitely a contender.
Okay, I'm going with contender as well. I want to see them get hot. They haven't been on a streak yet. They are playing the
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs today. It's the rematch of the AFC Championship game last week, so this will be a good game to see. So I'm kind of on the pretender side right now.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
like you. Give me one more week, and then I'll be on the contender. So we'll do
Okay.
that. All right, let's move to the NFC side. Let's go down to our obvious. Well, this is going to be an obvious. The Buccaneers. Let's go with the 4 seed, the NFC South champion. Probably is going to be the Buccaneers. Are they a contender or pretender?
It's it's hard, right? Because you can't. It's like possibly am I going to say this sentence? A Tom Brady led team might be a pretender, but no, I'll say contender because I just like I'm not going to bet against him in the postseason, but it's borderline for me right now.
I'm going 100% pretender. You lose last week against the Browns, and we'll get into that when we do our team performances next segment. But I don't have any confidence going forward. Their offense has been so inconsistent; it's been inept. And then you lose against the Browns because of miscues and not calling timeouts. It's bad coaching all around too as well. So I'm going with contender with the Bucs. And you know what, Bucs fans, I don't care. You can cuss me out if you want to. So, all right, the Dallas Cowboys, contenders or pretenders?
Oh God, they'll make the playoffs, but they are the biggest pretenders ever because they don't do anything in the postseason.
And they always choke in the playoffs too.
They do. They don't get past first round, so pretenders. And I am sure the Cowboy fans will come at me, as you all do, all week for no reason, just coming at me.
Is there a possibility that all the NFC East teams make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think if it was if the playoffs ended today, all four would be in. Yeah. Philly would be what, the 1. I think Dallas is what, the 4, and then the Giants and Commanders 6 and 7 or 5 and 7, something like that. So.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Which brings me to two of my last teams. Actually, we got 3 teams coming up. Seattle Seahawks, contenders or pretenders?
Oh God, I'm gonna edge to pretender on that one because I feel like they're just one like DK Metcalf injury away from like possibly falling apart on offense.
I'm gonna go with contender. For a team that everybody kind of wrote off before the season started because Russ is gone. They're a young team. They don't have the superstar power that they have, and they've kind of really shocked and really kind of proved everybody wrong with how they've been playing. And Geno Smith has been pretty good under center, so
yeah,
I like the Seahawks and where they're at. I'm gonna say contender right now because you never know. The Seahawks are always dangerous in the playoffs, so I'm gonna say contender. All right, our last 2 teams you're familiar with, Nikki. They're NFC East teams. I'm gonna go with the Giants first. Are the Giants contenders or pretenders?
I would say this really
take a deep breath.
depends on how many guys can come back healthy. Because we are decimated with injuries. If we can get some of these guys back healthy in the next couple of weeks here, I will go with contender for sure. But of course, not having, Bellinger blocking, on the line there has been a glaring issue. So I'll go with contender, but it's it's fragile.
I'm gonna go with pretender. I don't trust anything on that team. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Just contenders they're pretenders all right around. All right. And last team would be the Washington Commanders, the last team in the NFC East. They do have a 55% chance to make the playoffs. Commanders, pretenders or contenders?
I'm gonna go pretenders on this one. Yeah.
I'm going pretenders as well. I think I like what they've been doing this year. They've really kind of turned it around. I think, when they put in Taylor Heineke was a shot in the arm for them when it comes to the offense. So yeah. I think next year you're going to see an even better team with Washington. So pretenders for right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That has been our pretenders or contenders segment. Let's go to our prospective teams, the Giants and Bucs performances last week. Nikki, I'll go with you first. How did the Giants do last week?
Well, they played on Thanksgiving. So they had a little bit of a mini bye, which has been great because we are getting some guys back. So For today, we are going up against the Commanders. This is a huge game. I know everyone's calling it a must win. I think if they win 3, that should do it for the postseason. That should get them in there. It's at home. So again, getting these guys back healthy on defense is going to be great. Hopefully they can cover tight end because they never cover Logan Thomas. Tip for everyone out there playing fantasy. Maybe you consider getting Logan Thomas to go. And just getting Barkley going, right? It hasn't been great the past 2 weeks. The play calling's been really off. It really just nothing. They can't really get anything going. So I think if we can get the run game going, control some time of possession here, which they were good at, be second half adjustments, then. And Daniel Jones, I know people like to give him a hard time, but he's an athletic quarterback. So he'll turn those wheels on, get you a couple touchdowns probably. But yeah, it wasn't great against the Cowboys. Made Thanksgiving really difficult.
How would you grade the Giants last week? What would you give them for a grade?
Like a C. It started off okay. Thought like, okay, they're going to be competitive, and then it just got really bad.
Okay. It seems like every single week I just have to complain about the Bucs. And I don't want to do that every single week, but it seems like every single week I have to because they've just been terrible. And you lose against you can't close it out against the Browns last week. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from David Njoku's one-handed catch.
Yeah.
Which, you forced OT, but you're Tom Brady. You should be able to mystify a win in OT. It's no excuse. And of course, it goes back to the coaching and play calling once again with Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich, which, a lot of people right now in Bucs Nation are like, get rid of them. And
really? Okay.
Yeah. It's everybody on Twitterverse is just up in arms about these two guys, and it's like, well, you guys are all about having them, and now you can turn your backs on them right now. So
yeah. What do you think? Are you ready to be done with them, or?
It's going to be an interesting thing in the offseason because obviously this is Brady's last year, and I think more than likely he's going to go. So
yeah.
And then we're in cap hell right now. So it's just going to be, if you're going to do a one and done with both of these, with Todd Bowles, I don't think they will do that. I think they'll give him another season or two, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a fan of just booting somebody after one, unless it's horrible.
Yeah. And everybody was saying hey, the Raiders should get rid of Josh McDaniels after one. I was like, you really have to get like a starting quarterback, like a rookie starting quarterback. You really have to give a coach, at least 2 to 3 seasons just to see what the body of work could be. Not after one. It's got to be an Urban Meyer level of epicness of disaster where you get rid of them after one season. Not after one where they're relatively being still competitive. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay. Bucs also lose Tristan Wirfs for about 3 to 4 weeks because of a leg injury too on that game. So they're going to be out with another person on the O-line, which is great for our O-line.
Woohoo, right? Woohoo,
yes.
More injuries.
More injuries for us. All right, let's go into heroes and villains of last week for week 12. What were your heroes and villains from last week, Nikki?
My heroes were Stephon Diggs and Fabian Moreau. I got so tired of Robert Tonyan, and I was like, because I'm streaming tight end, I was like, forget this. I'm done with you. Picked up Fabian Moreau. Did okay for me, so not too bad.
I had Mike White in DFS, so Mike White just blew it up last week. Yeah. 315 passing yards and 3 TDs, 24.8 fantasy points last week. And I'm going to say some RJ Perrine, who filled in nicely for Joe Mixon last week, had 19 points in the win against the Tennessee Titans. So those are my heroes from last week. Villains. Who did you have for a villain?
Villains. Oh my God. Kenyon Drake. I had to put him in there. 0.2 points. And I know I just said to go get Logan Thomas, but he did me no favors last week. It was 1.2 points. So thank you very much for completely ruining my matchup.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know what's going on with Dameon Pierce, but he's been a villain of mine for the past couple of weeks. 4.6 fantasy points last week. I really don't. He would start the first few weeks of the season. Was a monster, and then it just seems like it's been off the rails for Houston's run game. So I don't know. Maybe they can pick it up against Cleveland today. I'm hoping so.
I think so.
If not, I don't know. So yeah, he was my villain from last week, Dameon Pierce. All right. All right, let's go into our Week 13 matchups, courtesy of BetUS. Let me get our lines up and ready to go. Make sure to go to BetUS, put in your promo code Channelside, and get that 125% bonus for Week 13 for your first sign up. Let's get into it, Nikki. Our first matchup, the New York Jets going against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings coming in as a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 44.
I will take the Jets and the 3.
I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Jets are just kind of like surprising everybody. This could be another Minnesota blunder game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
could see that happening for sure. What is it? 44?
44 is the over-under. Yeah.
Well, I have it right at 44.
Yeah.
I have it 24-20. So.
All right. I like that. Okay. All right. Our next matchup, the Broncos and the Ravens. This gross game. Ravens coming in as a 10-point favorite. 40.5 is the over-under. This might be an ugly game.
For Denver, probably.
I'm saying it for both because the Ravens lost last week to the Jags.
Yeah. It's 10.
And it's 10.
No, because I don't like that. I would not that I think Denver's going to score points. It's more that is Baltimore's defense just going to cough it up in the last 2 minutes.
Could this be the first game where Denver actually scores like over 20 points?
I don't know. No, probably not.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't like this at all. I don't like it.
Pass.
All right.
Not
Goo! We're going to go
Goo.
with Goo game for that. Okay. Our next matchup, the Steelers and Chip's very own Atlanta Falcons. Pittsburgh's coming in as a 1-point favorite. The over-under is 43.
43. Let's see. Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll say it's slightly over.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it all the way. I don't know. See, I'm a little iffy about who's going to win the game, though. Because they're both the Steelers are just the Steelers, and the Falcons have been so inconsistent.
I have the Steelers straight up.
Do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, man, this is a hard one for me. I'll go Falcons. I'll go Falcons with the +1.
Yeah, I would take that.
Okay. And I'm going to take – you know what? I'll take the under. No, I'll take the over for this one.
I like the over. I think it's just going to be – yeah, I don't know. This would be one of those weird ones where they have a good day.
Okay. All right. This game is certainly got a lot of storylines. The Tennessee Titans against the Eagles. Of course, the A.J. Brown is going to be facing his former team today. Eagles coming as a 4.5-point favorite. The over-under is 44.5.
No, I'm taking the over.
I will take the under on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to take the under on this one. I think this is going to be more of a ground game than anything.
Yeah.
And Philly's defense is pretty decent.
Yeah. Their corners have been having a rough go of it, though. 4.5.
I'll take the Eagles with the points, and I'll take the over. You know what? I'm gonna make it a curveball for that one. I'll take the Eagles with the points, and I'll take the over.
I would take the Eagles and the points, but I have Tennessee winning it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's match up. Jacksonville Jags going against the Detroit Lions.
Oh my God.
This is like a toss-up game. This could be a flip of the coin game.
Guys already know where I'm going on this one.
Are you going Jags or are you going Lions?
No, I'm going to go Lions.
You're going Lions. Okay. I'm going Lions too. I'm
All
going
the way.
Lions. Yeah, all the way. I'll go with it too. I'm kind of unsure about the over-under though. 51.5 is a little generous.
Let's see. No, take the over. They're going to ball out for
You
some
think so?
reason. Yeah, I think
you think this is going to be a shootout between these two teams?
I do.
Okay. I'll ride it with you. All right. NFC East matchup. The Commanders going against your Giants, Nikki. The Giants coming in as a 2.5-point underdog with the over-under is 40.5.
Yeah, I think it's low scoring. Give me the Giants and the 2.5.
I'll take the under on that as well. I'm going to take the Commanders.
Okay.
On that. I like the Commanders in this one. All right. The Brown. This is the kind of like the
marquee here.
I guess you can say the marquee matchup today. The Browns going to be facing their Deshaun Watson's going to be facing his former team, the Houston Texans, in Houston. Browns coming in as a 9-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5.
Oh, I'm going under. Really? Considering the over? Huh. I mean, I'll take the Browns, the points, or I'll lay the points and I'll go under here.
In my back of my mind, I'm thinking maybe Houston could pull out a win just to like spite Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that would be, it'd be almost like vindication or valid, like for the accusers, like, hey, F you, you just lost to your former team.
Okay, so a lot of emotion, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of emotion for this, and like you never know, he could come out and be a stinker today because he hasn't played in a while.
He could.
Yeah.
I just don't see Houston scoring many points.
All right, I'll take Cleveland in the points. I'll take the under on this one, even though in the back of
you don't want to go the other way.
You know what? I will go the other way.
Go the other way.
I'll go off of emotions. I'll go Texans. I'll go to the +9, and I'll do the under on this one.
Okay, see?
Okay. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yes.
Ugh, so many boos in that stadium today. All right, this is the game, the big rivalry matchup against the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Packers coming in as a 4-point favorite. Over-under's 45.
Oh my God. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in this game?
Listen, give me some Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to shock the world today and beat the Packers today.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'll take I'm with you. I'll take Chicago all the way on this one.
Okay. I'm the same way because I think Justin Fields. I have Justin Fields in another DFS lineup, so I think he's gonna run all day all over the Packers today. All right, the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle's coming in as a 7.5-point favorite. No Aaron Donald today. No Matthew Stafford today. Over-under's 41. I will take Seahawks, the points, and I'll take the under on this.
Just what I was going to say. With you on that one.
All right, good deal. This game, I think, is going to be the most exciting one today. The Dolphins and the 49ers. Right now, it's a bit of a monsoon, and San Fran is raining right now. But this is the game I think everybody's hoping to watch because it's Mike McDaniel going against his former team. Two really high-powered offense this week. So the Dolphins coming in as a 4.5-point underdog with the over-under is 40.5. What do you think?
I'll go over.
Okay.
And let me see. What is it? 4.5?
4.5.
I'll take San Fran and the points, but I think Miami wins.
You think so? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see. This is a flip of the coin game for me too as well. Oof. You know what? I'll go on the other side. I'll take Miami.
All right.
I'll take Miami, and I'm going to take the under on it though.
Okay.
All right. The Chargers against the Raiders. Raiders coming in as a 2.5. Yeah, I know this is a gross game. 2.5 point favorite, and the over/under is 49.5.
I just don't like it.
I'll take the Raiders in the 2.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, and I'll take the under on it.
I'm going under on this one.
Yeah, I'm going under on it as well. All right, the AFC Championship rematch from last year, the Chiefs and the Bengals. The Chiefs coming in as a 2.5 point favorite. The over/under is 53.
So I'll go over.
I'm going under.
Okay,
going under on this one.
2.5. Oh man,
I'll take the 2.5 with Kansas City.
Yeah, I would too.
Although with Jamar Chase back, it gives Cincinnati a little bit more of a chance, but I've got Chiefs in this one. All right. Our matinee or our primetime matchup, Cowboys and the Colts. Cowboys coming in as a 10.5 point favorite. The over under is 44.5.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish this isn't even the primetime game for tonight. It's just going to be like a terrible game to watch.
I know. Why? Why did we get stuck with this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know here. I mean, I feel like Zeke, Tony Pollard is gonna have a big game. Like, I don't like these big spreads, but if I was betting a big spread today, this would be the one.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go all the way with Dallas on this one.
Yeah.
But I'll take the I'll take the over on it. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. The Monday night matchup, the New Orleans Saints against the Buccaneers. Bucks coming in as a 4-point favorite. The over/under is 40.5.
It's actually my lock of the week. I will take the under and I'll take the Saints and the points.
This is a game where the Bucs get screwed up yet again. Even though like the Saints are not led by Drew Brees anymore, they're led by Andy Dalton or Jameis. They might even put Jameis in this game just out of spite.
But like I know, are they married to Andy Dalton? Like what?
They have been for the remainder of the season. I will take the under, and I will take the Bucs to win with the 4.
Okay.
So I'll take that. All right, those have been the matchups and lines for Week 13. Make sure to go to betus.com, put in your promo code Channelside to get your 125% bonus for your first sign up today.
Mm-hmm.
Starts and sits for this week. What do you got, Nikki? Starts and sits for this week.
Starts and sits. Who do I like this week? All right, I'm going out on a limb here, but
Please do.
don't mind Tom Brady this week. I really don't.
Really? Against the Saints defense?
Yeah, I don't mind it this week. I think he's probably going to be good for like 250 yards, 2 TDs. I could see it. I said I'm going out on a limb.
Okay. I can agree with.
I'm
not going to fault you on that. Okay.
I don't hate it because the Saints have been struggling the past couple weeks here. Like
the Buccaneer offense has been really just up and down. They haven't been scoring a lot of points. So
I know, but I feel like Brady's like, I just like,
listen, I want it to happen.
Listen,
I want it to happen.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Yeah. I feel it for you.
I
think I think the Bucs will have a better day than you think.
Okay. I hope so. I really do.
I'm going on a limb there. So I would also start Dameon Pierce because this is actually on the slate. It's the second best matchup for running backs. I like Treylon Burks this week. Like I said, the Eagles cornerbacks, they've been having a rough time the past few weeks. And on the flip side, Juwan Johnson. So it seems like when the Bucs do give up a touchdown is to a tight end. So those would be some of my starts for this week.
I thought he was out for this week.
Oh, is he out? Then scratch
I think he
that.
is out for I would scratch that.
Scratch that and go with your normal.
Okay.
Tight end. Or actually, who could you you could get oh my god. Well, who the hell did I just start? That was my hero. What is wrong with me? Fabian Moreau.
Well, Justin Fields is back for the Bears, so maybe
you could get Cole Kmet, right?
Cole Kmet, yeah, against the Packers, which for me starts this week would be Justin Fields and Brandon Ayuk would be my must starts for this week. Sits, I would say anything that's on the Colts. If you have anything on the Colts, anything on the Colts.
Yeah, like Paris Campbell. I would not go for that this week. I definitely sit Derek Carr. He's got a horrible track record against the Chargers.
See, don't say that because he's my starting quarterback for my fantasy team. And I have him and Devontae Adams, and Devontae Adams to me is probably going to go off against the Chargers this week.
Okay. All right.
Hey, that's your opinion.
Yeah. And then how about anybody on Denver? I mean, I don't think I love this again. Like, I don't like the Denver defense against Lamar Jackson. So that'd be a defense I would say.
I think each and every week, nobody should start anybody from the Denver Broncos. That should be just a prerequisite.
Yeah, just a given.
Just a disclaimer on our show. Don't start anybody from the Broncos.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Yep.
All right. We don't have a Wheel of Death this week.
Oh.
Because Chip is out. But congratulations to you. You won last week.
Yes.
So
oh, my God. Here I come. I am a contender.
I know. Well, I don't know about that. Not for pickups.
Easy there.
Before we close it out, Nikki, what's your lock of this week?
For a win? Who am I locking? You know what? I'm going to lock Cincinnati over Kansas City.
Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. For my DFS lineup this week, I've got Justin Fields starting. I've got Jamal Williams as my running back 1. Dameon Pierce is running back 2. I also have Brandon Ayuk and Garrett Wilson as my wide receiver, and I'm locking in Cole Kmet with that stack for Justin Fields. And then I'm putting in Travis Kelce as my flex and the Steelers defense for my DFS lineup. For this
week. And if you guys need a value quarterback, maybe take a look at Jacksonville Detroit game. So Trevor Lawrence is like 5,900 and Jared Goff is 5,300. So I think both teams are going to ball out.
I will do a sleeper pick this week for daily fantasy, and if you need to pick him up, Jameson Williams is actually coming back. He was the number 12 pick overall last year. He is going to be starting today. It's going to be on a limited snap count, but I think with this game against Jacksonville, you'll probably see maybe a tutty or two with this guy. So I would say Jameson Williams.
All right.
So
Like it.
today. So,
Yes.
all right, Nikki, for week 13, any last news and notes before we get on out of here?
No, I think that's it. Let's cross my fingers that the Giants win because I made a bet on a Commander show, and then I'd have to wear burgundy and gold, and they're not my colors. So yeah.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing the Browns and the Texans game. We should have some fireworks for that, and then I'm really excited to see that 49ers Dolphins game later on this afternoon too as well. So make sure to go to betus.com, get your Channelside promo code in for that 125% sign up bonus today. Make sure to go to Channelside Sports Network, get into your subscribe today and notification bell to get all the new shows that come out every single day and week on Sunday, especially us at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be back next week for week 14. Chip will be back from his vacation birthday trip. So for myself and Nikki, we will see you guys next week. It's been Channelside Bets. See ya. Come on.